Deep within the heart of an ancient forest, where the sunlight filters through the canopy in golden shafts, a clever fox named Chatura trotted along a well-worn path. His fur was the color of autumn leaves, and his sharp, amber eyes scanned every rustle in the undergrowth, searching for his next meal. Meanwhile, near the edge of a bustling human village, a crow named Kaaki took flight. In her beak, she carried a heavy, wedge-shaped treasure, a thick piece of yellow cheese stolen from a windowsill. She glided over the rooftops and into the green embrace of the woods, seeking a quiet place to enjoy her prize. The air was still, and the only sound was the distant call of the wild. Kaaki finally found her sanctuary, landing gracefully on a high, sturdy branch of a sprawling banyan tree, unaware that her every move was being watched from the shadows below. The rich, salty scent of the cheese drifted down through the cool forest air, catching Chatura's keen nose. He stopped in his tracks, his nostrils twitching with anticipation. He looked up, his gaze locking onto the black silhouette of the bird perched high above. Chatura was no common predator. He did not growl, nor did he bark in frustration. Instead, he sat back on his haunches, his tail twitching rhythmically. He began to weave a web of words, realizing that while he could not climb to the branch, he could bring the branch's treasure down to him. He stared at Kaaki with a look of feigned admiration, preparing his silver tongue for the performance of a lifetime. The hunger in his belly was sharp, but his mind was sharper. Chatura cleared his throat and projected his voice upward. "Oh, noble Kaaki," he called out, his voice smooth as honey. "I have traveled many miles, but never have I seen a creature of such elegance. Your feathers shine like polished obsidian in the midday sun, reflecting a beauty that puts the peacock to shame." Kaaki tilted her head, her grip on the cheese tightening, yet her ears were wide open. The fox continued his pacing, moving in a small hypnotic circle at the base of the tree. "The forest is full of rumors, dear crow. They whisper of your legendary voice. They say it is the sweetest melody in the woods, a song that could make the very stars weep with joy. I find it hard to believe such beauty and such talent could exist in one being. Could you grace me with just one note? Just a single sound to prove the legends true?" Kaaki felt a surge of pride. She puffed out her chest, her ego swelling with every word Chatura spoke. She stood tall on the branch, feeling the heavy weight of the compliment. She wanted to prove him right. She wanted to be the queen of the forest. With a sudden burst of vanity, she opened her beak wide to let out a loud, piercing caw. The moment her beak parted, the heavy wedge of cheese slipped. It tumbled through the air, spinning and catching the light as it fell toward the forest floor. Chatura did not hesitate. Before the cheese could even touch the grass, he lunged with predatory grace, catching the prize mid-air with a satisfying snap of his jaws. Chatura swallowed the cheese in a single greedy gulp. He licked his chops, savoring the lingering taste of salt and cream. He looked up at the stunned bird one last time. "A voice like yours is indeed a gift," he said with a mocking bow, "but it seems your ears clearly need more practice in discerning truth from lies." Without another word, he turned and trotted into the dense brush, disappearing into the shadows. Kaaki sat silent on her branch, the weight of her mistake heavier than the cheese she had lost. She looked down at her empty talons, and then out at the distant horizon. The forest grew quiet, leaving her alone with the cold, sinking realization of her own vanity.